have this together. Ms. McGatty is in here as well. We always like to kind of have a team approach whenever we're working, especially internally with SSGS, so that everybody's on the same page. We all know what's going on and what's expected. And so she's going to come in and so I just go over a summary of kind of what you're looking for and whatnot, and just kind of the conversation we had last week. And Ms. Barbara couldn't be here this morning. She had another engagement, so I told her to go ahead and do that. But like I said before, when we had a meeting, I do definitely want to include Ms. Young in it because right now we have not. She's our main employment specialist. Then we have Ms. Barbara's retention, and so she will be kind of filling in and assisting as well throughout the process. So we have some better communication and things in that nature, and so you guys are able to communicate as far as it relates to your employment search. Okay? All right. So, and I've had a follow-up conversation with Ms. Young in terms of, kind of getting the situation with the gas card and the clothing. And as I said before, it took about 2 weeks, I think, which justifiably is, even though all the other stuff going on, is an extended period of time. And we do understand that. And so just going forward for different things, we'll just make sure we have a better process in place. With us being down on employment specialists, we are getting, the whole team is kind of stepping in and assisting. But like Mr. Johnson, Reginald Johnson, his main focus is doing the assessments and everything in the beginning. And then Ms. Barbara, she doesn't do the employment specialist piece. She assists with that, but her main focus is on the retention end. And so until we get another employment specialist in, Ms. Young is the main person as well as myself.
So she's going to be my direct contact?
So it will be between her and I.
Okay, so since we're all here on one accord, I'm going to say this directly to you. I cannot operate under the circumstances we operated under before. She acknowledged that was an extended period of time that was completely unacceptable on the receiving end for me, and it really was mind-boggling because of the fact that it wasn't just you that was dropping the ball. It was Corey, too, and Corey was a direct link from you, and I'm navigating both of y'all dropping balls all the way around. That's not how I operate. I'm accountable and responsible and reliable and dependable. And if I make a mistake or an unforeseen circumstance, I try to put a contingency plan in place. At the very least, I'm communicating with you or whomever I'm dealing with directly and letting them know, hey, it's not going to roll like this right now. I thought I could. I can't. My bad. I'm wrong with something. Not a happenstance like, an afterthought and then full of excuses. That was really pissing me off, just to be frank with it. It really, really was. It really made me feel from your end, since we made a great connection in the beginning, it really made me feel from your end that you didn't care anymore. And I don't need that in my life right now. I'm trying to be productive. I'm trying to enhance what I'm already doing. And I'm trying to be the main person driving my train because it's all about me. I get out of myself what I put in. You know for a fact, when I came to Hope, I came from troops. Everybody knows, I shouted it from the rooftops. as how they was dropping the balls. I sat up in a city of refuge and I explained to you in detail how the ball got dropped, and you dropped the ball just like they did, and that was hurtful. That was devastating. I'm on a road in my life trying to get my life back together. Hey, y'all all got jobs, y'all got cars, y'all got homes. I'm a person who had suffered domestic violence, had to leave my relationship for 7 years. I didn't just come in here because I was an alcoholic or a drug person. I left my way of life, and I'm trying to rebuild my life. And I'm trying to put people on my team that have that same vision with me. So if that's not a vision that you share, that's your prerogative, that's your choice. I can't make you make that choice. But if it is one that you share, I expect that you're going to be on the team and you're going to play by the rules and you're going to be responsible and accountable and reliable. That's all I ask. If you can't, the other thing I ask is let me know and I can move on. That I just can't operate like this no more. I mean, I'm sitting here when I was preparing for this meeting and about to come. I'm thinking like, okay, I'm gonna have to spend time talking about this with you because she told me that she wanted to have this meeting. This is taking time away from where I could be productive, or you and I, or the team could be productive. But I have to address this issue. I can't let this issue go on. No more from nobody. I don't hold you responsible for what Corey did. Please don't think that I do, because I don't. You made a connection. You did your job. You did a great job at it. You can ask Miss Ellis. I didn't just complain. I complimented too. I told her where your strengths were. I told her I appreciate what you done, and then I pointed out my concerns. Period, point blank. No other ways about that. I shoot straight from the hip. Ain't no games with me. Nothing. But when it's my life, and I see a direct obstacle, and that obstacle spot not supposed to be an obstacle, is see streets, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. That's how I operate. And then to me, you became a weakness. And that can't happen. And if you don't understand how you became a weakness, because you wasn't doing what you were supposed to be doing. You kept telling me, I had to go to this meeting. I got sick. I did this. I did that. A person on my end, we in desperation. See, this ain't as important to you. Because you go home to your husband. You go home to your house. You go home to everything. To me, this is everything. I'm damn near 50 years old. And I have to rebuild my life. You know how tired I am sitting with people explaining this story, and I'm still spinning my wheels. Still spinning them. I only hold you accountable for your part, nobody else's. I have to separate that because everybody's operating similarly. So, lastly, if you're going to be on my team, be down for the cause. If you're not, just let me know. That's all.
Yeah, I do understand what you're saying. Unfortunately, like I said, I will take responsibility if you felt as though the ball was dropped coming from where we first started to, the small hiccup that we had. Definitely, whether it's you or any of the other 50 or 60 veterans that I do have, I do take to heart what I do, not only because I am a veteran myself, but I take great passion in helping my disadvantaged or veterans that may have gone through things. I do take I take that to heart, helping them. And whether I go home to my husband at night or my children and all that, when I'm at work, my primary focus is my client. I do, like I said, I do feel, unfortunately, there were some things that happened, such as me being sick and some other things that was already on my list to do. I did try in any way that I could, even on my days when I was sick, I did try to have people such as Miss Alice, if she was aware from day one what was going on. We had an audit, like I explained to you, that I could not leave for. I didn't know I was going to get sick. Miss Dominique had to force me to go home, so I was like, I have to get this to Miss Shamitra. And of course, like I said, other people were involved, so things got crisscrossed and got wired to where you were not able to get the gas card or the scrubs right away. They were ultimately given to you, but it was just not at the time that you wanted or you needed them. But I had been on board from the day you got it, from the time I sent Chris over the email when you got the first interview for the Creative Donkey, I believe.
Who is Chris?
Or the person that I sent, the one that hired you.
Mm-hmm.
When I sent him the email, you said, hey, I got an interview. Can you shoot him an email? You used me as a reference. I'm like, hey, of course, cool. I sent him the email explaining how great you were and your skill sets. And we went from there. And then we spoke again, I believe, on the 18th, which was on a Friday, because Martin Luther King was coming up that Monday. And I asked you, what were some things you may need? You said, well, I'll need some scrubs. We were not in the office that Monday because we were off. And then the next day, I think it was a Tuesday, I told you, hey, I'm also preparing for an audit because that was just not a, turn it in today. No, that was something we had to do. That took days going through all the files that we had to go through. So I said, which I did, we did a lot more talking on the phone than we did texting. I said, hey, we got an audit and I'll let you know how everything goes. And I think we tried to link up again. And I don't know if you didn't answer the phone. There was a miscommunication where the phones were not answered and we had to audit. And then we had a job fair the next day. So I also explained to you that we had a Walmart job fair the day after the audit. That's the day I got sick and Miss Dominique sent me home. I did not expect to be out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and I think Tuesday. I didn't expect to be out those days. So what I did do, I believe I called you about 7:25 the day when Mr. Weaver tried to get in contact with you at Chattahoochee. Because we called you and said you're going to be available between 9 and 2, I think. And he was like, what campus are you on? You sent me your email. You sent me the address of your school via text messages. I relayed that information over to Sebastian. Unfortunately, Sebastian was not able to, get right to you directly because he did have a caseload himself that he had things already prioritized. He didn't expect me to be out at 6. So once he got done what he was doing, the little small time frame that he did have to get up to Chattahoochee, he called and I guess you were unable to answer the phone. So he called me back and said, hey, she's not answering the phone, but I have to get all the way back down to the Department of Labor by this time. And so by then, when you finally answered the phone, you were like, hey, where can we meet up for the gas and the scrubs? Mr. We've explained to you that, he cannot meet you due to the fact that he did have other arrangements that had to be done before he went home on Friday. But I do know prior to that, Miss Dominique had went to go get the scrubs for you in your area also. And she ended up having to come back to the office. Like I said, it was a miscommunication on both parts. I will take part in it just being taking so long for you to get the items that you required for work, and with the communication how it happened, whether you were unavailable or I was unavailable. So I will take responsibility for that. But I do feel, like I said, as an employment specialist, from the time we met at the Department of Labor till you actively start working, I do believe that I did put forth the effort that I was supposed to as an employment specialist, whether it was reaching out to you and saying, hey, look at this staffing agency. Therefore, they do creative things such as the web and media and design and things that you have your skill set in. And then when it was with Corey, I ensured, you spoke after that. With Corey, I said, hey, how did you feel about it? Do you think it's beneficial for you? I know you were trying to get over with Cox Media. You were like, well, this is really good. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And we did actively keep up weekly in regards to what you're doing. And then you did send me a job search, but by the 2 you did send me, I believe, you had found the creative done here, like I said, and then we went from there. You started working, and I was like, okay, we got you working, and then I sent you over to retention, and that's what I was supposed to do. Was once I got you squared away and got you working, and you had, from what I first understood, you enjoyed the job, you liked it, you said, hey, it was for you, and I sent you over to retention. And I know you were still working with Corey trying to get your project turned in. And you did call me with a concern, saying that you had been trying to reach him, but he had not been answering the phone. So I believe you found a Google number and you called him from a Google number and he picked it up and you all met again.
That was the only number I had for him.
Oh, okay. So you were able to make contact with him because I did reach out to him. Because I reached back out to you and said, hey, I spoke to Corey. He said give him a call back because I know this was in regards to turning in the second part of your project. I think it was during the 17th of January, if I'm not mistaken. And after that, I don't know what happened because we lost contact after the whole clothing and gas card. I was unable to contact you, so I was unsure what had happened by after that. So I was unsure if you and Corey had met back up to turn in a project or
Well, let's visit that. I don't know why you was unable to reach me, because my phone number stayed to change.
Well, I called you from my number and it went directly
Oh,
to
I do know
voicemail.
why you wasn't able to reach me. Let me correct myself. But let me go back to something that you said in the beginning when you started saying what you said. You referred to this whole thing as something that is I can't go for. This was not a small hiccup. You use that phrase. To me, that's diminishing what I experienced. You need to understand that all those times we were supposed to have rendezvous with other people I was supposed to be meeting that you set it up with.
Who were you supposed to be meeting besides Corey?
I'm speaking of Sebastian about the gas thing. The gas thing with Sebastian. I'll be more clear because I wasn't clear there. When I was supposed to be meeting with you, her, him, everybody about this, in the interim of all of this, I kept texting you. I kept telling you, hey, I ain't got no gas. Hey, I can't get nowhere. Hey, I'm stuck. Hey, am I going to walk home from today? And I'm up here panhandling to put gas in my car.
And I think that was a part of the misunderstanding as well, because it was also the information that was given to Corey was that you were being paid during that time.
No.
So that was that during that time.
Right. Let me rectify that. But when you and I first met Corey gave me a $250 check. We agreed. I don't know how I did that. We agreed that his whole project would be $500. We had a deadline of January the 17th, 2019. We were supposed to do checks along the way. But 1 week immediately after I met Corey, I sat in his training session to absorb what he did so I could develop the project based on that. I did all of that. After that, our connection, me and Corey's connection, it began to diminish. The only contact information I had for him was his website, his email, and the Google number. I tried to get in touch with him as much as I tried to get in touch with you. And the ironic thing is, it was simultaneous. I was doing this with both of you at the same time. So with the Corey thing, I only got one check the time that you and I met. You did, and I give you credit. Like I said, I'm not going to take credit away from you, because you did a great job on the things that you did do for me. But the rest of it was the small hiccup, as you call it, which it ain't. That derailed everything. So when I got in touch with you about Corey and you contacted Corey immediately called me based off of your phone call. And I did appreciate that, because then me and him went into a thing about he needs to look at what I've been sending him so he can tell me what he likes, what he doesn't, so I can edit. You get 2 revisions from me. But this date, January the 17th, is creeping up the whole entire time. I was depending on that money to bridge a gap. It was only 2 payments. And we were supposed to build a relationship, but we never could. And so after that, when he trying to talk to me, when I'm trying to get in touch with him, here he goes. He had to watch his kid. His grandfather went to the hospital. He got a cold. All of this. Any human being sitting in this building, in this room, in this world would be fit to be tied. They really would. And the thing about it is, I can prove everything that I'm talking about because I purposely do one of 2 things. Either I take conversations like this, or I take impeccable notes. And I email when I'm corresponding with people that I cannot get in touch with. So there is no denying anything or text. So if anybody needs me to verify anything about anything I said and how I tried to reach the people that were supposed to be helping me, we can do that now. Because I'm on phone and I'm on the computer. We can do all of that.
With the gas aspect, I know.
Hold on. So the whole purpose is not to do a back and forth. And
I tried to get that off my chest.
I understand that.
You wanted to have this meeting, and you said we need to talk about it. So we're not going to cut me off in the middle of it. That ain't right.
It's not to cut you off, but I'm trying to bring the tone, because it's not a...
I didn't want to do this, to tell you the truth. I didn't want to do this, but you brought it out. I didn't want to do this because I didn't want to start feeling the way I'm feeling now. So at this point, let's just move on forward. I got it off my chest. Everybody been hurt. For real.
And that's fine. And I want you to express yourself. But if we're still going to be working together, then we have to have an environment where we can work together. Because Ms. Young, like I said, she's an employment specialist right now. And we're looking for another employment specialist, but she's the one that's out about in the community that's identifying jobs. So I want us to be on a page where we're able to have a discussion, to talk, and we can move forward from the situation. So we take back from the situation what happened, if the ball was dropped, or what happened, or where communication failed, to use as a moment to improve going forward. So it's not a purpose to say, okay, well, this happened, to go into a back and forth type thing. That's not the purpose of this. The purpose is to address, this is the concerns I had, these are the issues I had, this is what happened. She acknowledged that and accepted that, okay, well, we did at this point. This is what happened during this period. That's unbelongs, that had nothing to do with you as far as she got sick and she was out. But, okay, we acknowledge that this is what happened during this time period.
I got one question, and then we can move forward and be done with this part of it. if I haven't behaved that way as a client, what would be your impression?
If you behave the way of a client, we would have the same thing. We would sit here and have a conversation. Regardless of what it is, if it's a client, if it's a staff member, we're going to discuss what happened and then move forward from there. If it's something that the issue was with you, then we would have the same thing. We would sit here and have a conversation and say, okay, well, this is how we move forward. So this is what happened. This is the issue. Let's address the issue. And then moving forward, okay, we take note of that to make sure that moving forward we have better communication and things of that nature. Now, if you see it a different way or you have a different perspective on that, I'm open to you giving that feedback. But whether it's a client, whether whoever it is, I'm the type of person, let's have a discussion about it. Let's clear the air about it so that we're in a better place to move forward to achieve the goal that we have. Ultimately, the goal is to go to work. And so that's what we're pushing forward. So we can have a discussion. Like I said before, I talked to Ms. Young. I addressed the concerns with her. I just acknowledge as well that 2 weeks trying to get the information, regardless to what happened, that was an extended period of time. I acknowledge that. And I say, okay, now it's time to move forward. We know what's going on. We know as far as what the communication issues are. I haven't got a report back even from court to say how everything went. So I have your perspective on how things went with that particular piece. So at this point, we want to move forward to discuss, okay, going forward, this is what our expectations are. Going forward, this is what we're looking for, so that we have a particular plan and we're all on the same page with that plan.
Okay, well, to that I say, I can agree. You really didn't answer my question about the impression part of it, but you gave a detailed overlook of how you handled it.
Let me say something. I don't know into that with you guys, with Miss Mabry's experience. However, I would say as a case manager holding a caseload, we do still have our own life as well. So if she got sick, she couldn't help her illness. Yes, it was supposed to be somebody else that was supposed to pick up the case. They already said we didn't do it. We dropped the ball. Whatever the 2-week time frame was. So now at this point, we need to pick up where we stopped off at and just go on and get you to work, because like she said, all the back and forth, or judging you as a client, or judging her as a case manager, or judging her as whoever, it's just not going to make progress. So if you feel like you can work with her without holding grudge, then y'all should go for it. If you feel like it's going to be a problem, then maybe you should just work with Miss Dominique.
Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
To that I would say this. It's easy for you all to come up with that summary like that, and a logical thinking person, I can agree with what you said. And, but you wasn't in the midst of it all. You was on the outside. Y'all wasn't living that nightmare.
But I'm still your case manager. So
yeah, but like,
I know exactly what's going on. I just don't involve myself in that because that's not mine.
That's not even the aspect that I'm saying it from, and you didn't have all the information to make a comment because I wasn't finished saying it. So all I'm saying is this. Period. Point.
You know what? I'm gonna step out.
Okay.
Because I don't feel like this.
You wanted to have this meeting. This is a meeting I did not want to have because of this right here. So let's just move forward.
So this is the purpose. To move forward, we have to have this meeting, because other than that, then it's still that back and forth and things of that nature.
Demetra,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna take full responsibility because I did fail you as an employment specialist, knowing that, like I said, you're right. You have the things you have going on right now. You're trying to get back on that same leverage of having everything, your job, your house, doing all the stuff you did. I dropped the ball, and if the shoe was on the other foot, I could understand why you feel the way that you feel, because, like I said, granted, I go home to my husband. I go home and I don't see things from your perspective. So, like I said, moving forward, because we only can move forward. We can't go back to yesterday or last week or 2 weeks ago. We can't go back to that. So, what I put out to you is, you give me the opportunity to work with you again, because I do feel, like I said, you were one of my very unique clients, meaning I would always tell you have a very different skill set than any other of my clients, and you made me get out of my box and think about professions and, jobs that I had never thought of, such as the opera and working at the library and Sewell Mill, and I knew you were very interested in doing those things. So, like I said, moving forward, if you give me the opportunity to, we can figure out if it's better to text me, email, because right now I am the only employment specialist, and I have about 70, 80 plus other clients. So, every day I'm literally, going. So if it is best that you email, because often I have my phone to email you back versus calling you, we could work on something like that. Jessica, we want to get you back working, get you back sustainable, get you back to being able to, like you said, get you back to where you were before, things happen.
That is the goal, and it's always been the goal. So she left, so she's the housing, you employment, and you are employment too. So we're all growing here. We need to move forward. If she needs to be a part of this, we need to have the team do that. All I was saying pretty much was what you just summed up for. Take responsibility. Moving forward, we communicate clear, concise, on time. I will continue to hold up my end as I have been. That's all I can do. But if we're a team and we're supposed to work together, we're all adults here. If we can't take talking it out because you wanted to have this meeting, and I was reluctant about doing it because I told you I did not want to do it just because of what just happened. Like she walked out the meeting. That I understand how she feels, and I understand why she feels that way. Because if I was in her shoes, what I just said to her, I wouldn't appreciate it either. But she doesn't know where I'm sitting. You just acknowledge it. You just came around. I don't know what made you realize that, but thank you for doing that. So now, yeah, I can move forward. I have to move forward. I didn't want to have this meeting because of this right here. But let's move on because the meat and potatoes of this meeting is to establish a plan, like you said, to get me a job in housing that's going to work. So my thumb is killing me.
So with that, so I took notes of as far as what your availability is, as well as I did acknowledge as well when I talked to you that it could be something that takes longer based on your availability, based on the fact that your schedule changes. And we would have to identify the employer that's going to be willing to work with your schedule changing every semester. In addition, that you said if you have competitions come up, that's going to take first priority over your work. Right.
Oh, yeah. I was just saying.
So with that, I'm not gonna make any promises that within 2 weeks you're gonna have a position. We're not gonna have a set date on there. We're going to look for it and actively look for something that's within your field with someone that's gonna be flexible, but we can't make guarantees on when that's gonna actually happen. We can't say that within 2 weeks from now that we will for sure have identified, because we can't guarantee that. And so we don't want to put that out, but that's something that we will do. But just based on the change in schedules, it is something we'll have to put more work into as far as with identifying an employer that's, going to be fine with the flexibility, and that's going to be paying around about what we're at least looking for. Because the minimum for any jobs that we have are $12.75 is our average and above. So just identifying an employer that's willing to be flexible enough to work with your schedule is something that it's going to be a specific employer that we'll have to develop that relationship with. Okay.
Okay. It's possible.
Never said it was impossible. I said it's going to be something that's going to take work. Because I look at things from both sides. I look at from employer side. A lot of time employers, they're in the business of running their business. And so the first thing that they have is a need that needs to be filled. They'll, for the most part, have what they're looking for as far as what hours they wanted somebody to be there. But regardless of the fact, they have a need, they need it to be filled, and need somebody to fill that void. And so to have somebody that has a need that needs to be filled and that's willing to be flexible is somebody that we're going to have to really cultivate that relationship with to ensure that you get that opportunity and that they're willing to work with you, with your schedule.
That's all part of the process.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's achievable. We just got to be innovative to achieve that. So it can be done. So what is the plan going forward?
So far, it is with the job search process.
Right now.
So beforehand, were you guys doing like 3 jobs a week? Were you doing the 3 jobs a week and send that to her, or what was the?
It was a mutual,
agreement
because I remember when she got with Corey. I know her school was shortly starting about the same time you got with Corey. So I know that was more of a focus for her, which she implied from the jump in school. So with her, because like I said, she has a different skill set. It's not like a clerical or security. So it was more, like I said, first we did, I think we looked at a few creative staffing agencies. There were remote positions. She was trying to do more remote that would have been beneficial for her, either her school schedule. Then she went over to Corey, and I know, like I said, she was doing more of that, and that took up a lot of her time. And I know you were saying you were free in the afternoons, and you wouldn't have mind doing second shift, like anything after like 5 o'clock, you would be okay with doing. But then
No.
well, you said some days because I know your schedule changed, you were trying to drop a class, or you were trying to.
No, my instructor died. That's what happened. And that's the only reason why I got a little bit more time. Excuse me. But here is a piece of it that just developed in what I'm doing with school, because I already have another degree. And my Phi Beta Lambda, Future Leaders of America, the people that I compete with that she was commenting on, my instructor from that, he really presented something to me that I wasn't even thinking about. You and I, none of our conversations came up. But because I have that business management degree, and I'm only 6 classes out from a marketing degree, and I have a skill set that at least gives me certifications and diplomas from the school, I am now lining up my curriculum with both, my journey to my curriculum with both of those, the graphic arts and the marketing. So that will open up maybe more of a realm of what we can look at. So when I say marketing, because I know in the beginning you kept looking at the social media type jobs, and I don't know if you recall, I had explained to you, like, people get graphic artists mixed up with social media people, but my teacher, he was like, bang, 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 you got all this, you can compete in this, and you're not that I wasn't. He's like, there's other things you could be looking at, not just this one little center focus. So with social media and marketing or project type management type jobs, that can be something that we look at too. I mean, which was already looking at them, but I kind of stopped you.
Got you. Okay, so we definitely, like I said, we definitely can, sit down again, brainstorm, and with the schedule, the project, the competitions. I know your school schedule is going to fluctuate as the semesters go by. But that is something we can look into. Like I said, I don't know. I know you were looking more towards loans and paid good part-time or full-time would have been beneficial for you, because like you said, you're not willing to change your schedule if a competition comes up and you want to have an employer. But there were also other things, like you didn't want to be micromanaged. You didn't want to be somewhere where you were interacting with a lot of people. You didn't want to do anything that was laborious, such as a warehouse, or you didn't want to go to First Step because that was not nowhere near the skill set that you had. So like I said, those are the few of the barriers that, I was working on. So like I said, with the project, and I also told you, even if you don't take a lot from your training with Corey, that's stuff you can add to your portfolio. That's, hours. And I always tell, I said, every time you do it, clock your hours, so then you can add those to your hours. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So like I said, we were definitely going in the right direction, and we still are. We will just have to tweak that plan more so that it, with the communication and all the stuff we talked about today, to be effective, like you said, so that we can execute and get you that, that career. Because we don't want to say job, we'll get you that career, especially in the graphic or anesthetically pleasing.
Well, half of them up. This one's hurting.
Got you. So yeah, we want to get you something that you can, like I said, you can definitely use that set of skills that you do have.
Okay, would it be beneficial for you guys to have an updated resume?
If you want it, yes, and that's fine.
Well, I can accommodate that now, right?
Okay.
That's not the one that you sent me, was it?
I think I did.
The one you sent me today?
I think I might have. Would you want it on digital or hard copy?
It's fine, because I can put that in your file too, and I'll have a digital copy
If you
to
want-
save on my computer.
Well, I'll tell you what, you can have a hard copy
I
for my.
have that digital one.
You have
Okay.
Yes,
I think you have that updated.
I think that's what I have. This is the
Yeah.
updated one.
Because what else did I send you in that email? What was the
You
email?
sent me this one. I know I have this, and you sent me that log.
'Cause I know
This is I remember looking at that.
I made some changes. I think you do have an updated one.
Well, if you want to,
I mean,
I can forward you what I have.
That's fine.
I'll
I'll save that on the computer, and I'll keep this one in my file.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and email. I'll just email you both another electronic copy because I made some changes and I can't remember if I made them before I emailed you. I don't remember.
That's
So
fine. And I just update your file, and we'll just go from there. Like I said, we'll just have to plan a date. 'Cause I know you're in school right now. Well, you should be. Are you getting out for the spring coming up?
We don't get out till May.
Till May. Okay, so one time out of the week, we'll have to sit down and brainstorm and make a web and go from there.
Okay. You have Skype?
Mm-hmm.
Is that cameras?
Your computer or your cell phone.
I didn't take the tape off.
Yeah. Put it back on when you're done.
Okay.
I always do that.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can set up a Skype meeting so we can. Right. Okay. So we can do it. We'll just get together and come up with a date and a time that's best for you, so we can work it out and go from there.
I mean, if you want to go ahead and do that now, so I can go ahead and lock that down, we can plan for the day. It's my time. Okay. It can't be on Fridays because that's the day I got class.
Okay. And what days do you have class from? Okay, so I think I'm pretty, for my schedule, I'm pretty flexible besides the 1st and Thursday and the 8th. So I'm flexible for those times.
So are you flexible? Okay, so okay.
Today's the 26th.
So the 5th of March, that will work for you?
The 5th of March is on a Tuesday.
Okay, so we can,
Yep, I'm good for Tuesday.
we'll Skype. What time do you want to Skype?
What time best? You want to try to do? You want a morning or an afternoon?
We could just do it like 10. We could just keep the
10
same.
o'clock?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If anything changes, shoot me a message, or I'll shoot you an email or message saying, "Hey, this is coming up," or this is already set for this day, so we should be good. I'll plan around this.
Okay, what I'll do is I'm going to send you my Skype.
Okay, just send it via email.
Email.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, "Hey, this is my Skype," and all of that.
Send email. Let me put down there. Don't forget. Info. And in the interim, I will continue to search and keep you guys updated. Since we're going to do it like that, I'll try to have, my goal would be to try to have the job log to you before we Skype.
Okay, I usually it's 3. I use it. I ask for it every Friday, but like I said, I know you have class on Friday, so if you want to shoot it to me Thursday, that's fine.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there. Then if you have any leads on there, someone you're like, hey, out of all of these 3, this is the one that most stood out. We can try to look into that one and see if we could kind of possibly contact somebody, just find out some information like that. I'm not guaranteed I'm gonna get 3 lists and get you all 3 jobs. No. So we're gonna,
Well, we're going to diligently
right.
pound the ground till we get one.
Right.
All right. You got my commitment and my open-mindedness.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
Am I missing anything here?
No.
We covered it all. Okay. All right, Bobby. And we'll Skype on Tuesday.
10 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for listening. Okay. Sure. Just need you to know you really ain't have nothing to do with this, but I understand you're part of the team. Wait a minute, hold up. Maybe that's the part that kind of got us to the point that we are at now. Well, what is conversation?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we are know it.
Okay.
I just want to let you, right, because I like to clearly communicate with people. What I was trying to say was, you wasn't part of that journey. And when you made a comment, after all the things I've been through, it just wasn't registering. So to that, I say this, I maybe approached what I said in the wrong way, but what I said was still fact. And I feel like I said, I take responsibility for what I do and or say. I just didn't want that to be left unsaid because I understand why you got frustrated. I was like, okay, I
I'm
feel
not frustrated, but, the back and forth at the end of the day, we still gotta work together.
I feel you, but the air had to be cleaned completely,
So
for
I
us
hope
to
it
be
is.
yeah, oh yeah, it is, yeah. I just wanted to make sure it was clear with you because I was like, okay, I kind of just like sis.
No, it's cool,
Okay, yeah, we all back on the same page, yeah.
I ain't mad, it don't make or break me, I just was trying to help y'all out. But you chunked me out. I walked out the wrong line.
I mean, I would have did the same thing, right?
You know.
I would have been the same
But
thing.
I am involved. Let's just put it like that. So regardless of what they tell you, they tell me, like, we all stick together because that's the purpose of our program. So that we
Right.
can all work on the same page. So you had already told me you had an issue. It was addressed. My whole thing is how much apologize. Nobody wants to sit there and just keep on going back and forth and apologize. You don't, right? I know I don't.
And I
At
didn't
the
want
end
to
of
keep
the day.
going through all the stuff I
Right.
went through.
So, but you expressed that, and it was heard. So, that's why the meeting was today, because it was heard.
Yeah, I agree with that, but and that's why I didn't want to have a meeting because I didn't want to end up like I did. But at the end of the day, it all ended up well because everything got out like you said, and now we back, new fresh foundation. I'm good with it.
But I ain't mad. I mean,
Yeah.
you said what you said. It's cool. So,
Hey, but I do have a question for you. Did you get my email?
yeah, that's what I called you in here for.
Okay.
So that I could, but I have pushed it for you too. How you getting $100 a month you got on street paying?
Because I have a car note, car insurance.
Oh no,
Oh, yeah.
I have your budget right here.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of things that have to be paid. When that now that don't go real far.
Actually, it increased.
That is the increase.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
You got to talk so aggressive, Ms. Lady.
That's not aggressive. That's just me talking the way I talk.
All right.
I thought you knew right now I'm a straight shooter.
I don't.
I am a straight shooter. I mean,
Right.
this is a nightmare.
I'm a straight shooter too. That's why I'm having this conversation with you right now. So look, if you want to redo your budget, or you feel like it may increase, because that's what the budget was 1129.
Yeah, this is when I was no, that's not true.
I mean, you had you can look at your negative right there on that one.
Yeah, so it really kind of supports itself. If I'm already in the hole, you asking me how can I panhandle? What?
But then you was receiving money from the guy.
From the
You
guy?
receiving money from the guy that you was working with from Duncan. Did you ever receive some money from him?
What?
I'm asking a question.
No.
Did you ever receive any money?
Okay,
from
let me
when
put
you was
this into
working at
perspective
Creative
for
Duncan?
you. Let me put this into perspective for you. What I was trying to, since you brought that back up, because I thought we was past that.
No,
But-
listen. I
No,
don't
okay,
think
don't
you
yell at me.
understand what I'm saying.
Don't yell at me.
Because
You're yelling at
what
me.
I'm not going to do, Miss Mabry, we can't sit here and keep on going back and forth. I'm
No,
not
we
talking
can't because
about,
you're asking me something about a budget that's already deficient. Number
and
one.
what I need to
Number
do for
two,
your
you ask.
recertification is to go over your budget. And that's what we do as
Okay,
case
but you
managers.
ain't
So
gotta
if you
talk
don't
to
want
me
to
like
speak to me
that.
about your budget, Miss Mabry, we can
That
have this
ain't what I'm
conversation
saying.
another day.
No, that ain't what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying was when you asked me the question, I was like, what? I don't have no secrets. Ain't no games being played here.
I
But the
asked
way
you
you
a
asked me the
question.
question was, oh, you get $900 a month and you're out on the streets panhandling?
That was not how I said it. But
Yeah,
you,
it
you
is.
know, Miss Mabry, we
Yeah.
don't have this conversation.
Yeah.
I thought you would. Hopefully you'll be accountable. If not, then I'll just
Well,
see
maybe
my
just-
supervisor.
Yeah, well, maybe we just need to do it like that. For
That's
real. Let me make sure I ain't even in your office.
You did.
Who is your supervisor, by the way? I need to get in touch with them.
Pool at hopeatlanta.org. I'll give you a card.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Or I'll just give you an email because I have a card.
And where is she located?
Downtown. I'll give you her phone number too.
Yeah, we probably just need to speak with her for now because apparently we can't communicate clearly.
There you go.
So I got everything taped that we had on the conversation, so it can't be. No. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Don't come at me like that. Boo boo. Don't do that. Cause you can't deny it.